My name's Alan Daviduck. And for right now, I'm saying welcome to today's critical point. But, when I came up with that name, I was walking and a voice had said to me, hey, this is a great name. So that was the name I went with. Well, this same voice today, while I was taking a walk this afternoon, said to me, that name is stupid. Stop using that name. So I got to come up with a new name. The name of my system is the Smart System, so I'm thinking about calling it Smart Points, something like that. But I will be changing the name. But today's message is employer of choice. I had this lady that I used to work with. She worked for corporate. Her name was Tracy. So Tracy, if you're listening, this is for you. And people that know me and when I was in the Dunkin' world, and they remember Tracy. So Tracy used to say, you got to be an employer of choice. You got to be an employer of choice. And back then, I really didn't even understand what that meant. What does she keep saying? We have a great company. We got people that like working for us. But I didn't really understand. I didn't really, the meaning of what employer of choice is. So let me tell you what employer of choice means. So an employer of choice is someone whom workers choose to work for when presented with other employment choices. Let me say that again. An employer of choice is someone whom workers choose to work for when presented with other employment choices. And think about today where employees, they can go anywhere, right? They have more choices than ever in history. So, years later, as, we went through these pits and these problems of not being able to hire people, and, I went on this journey to really figure this out. Like, why don't people want to work for me? And it took me a couple of years to really understand this. And the one thing that kept hitting me, right, was the ability to compete on other factors other than salary, right? It's not always about the money. So, I kept taking, typical people, better people, right? What are typical people? So typical people are the people who trade time for money. Hey, how much am I going to make? How many hours a week am I going to get? They don't care about anything else, right? But what I started noticing is that I had these other people who, money had to be part of the conversation, but they wanted these other things, right? So that's what I started focusing on. And I really worked hard for years to create an environment where employees had a connection, right? They liked each other, they talked to each other, they helped each other. And this took a long time to figure this process out, to create emotional support and encouragement from my crew. So they wanted to come to work. I call this affirmation. And then, to give people responsibilities. Not everybody's a manager, right? And this was something that, when I was in this other world, that we would do all the time, is we would put people into these manager situations or these leadership situations, and they really weren't, that wasn't them, right? It's almost sometimes we were putting lipstick on a pig. That wasn't them. It wasn't their thing, but we were forcing them to be something they weren't. So what I started doing was, focusing on people's skill sets and the things they were good at, right? And I'll give you for instance. I have a girl. She was decorating some cookies. She was a young kid, and she did a great job, right? So we took a picture of it. We put her on the company communication, and she did such a good job decorating these cookies that just the way she walks is different now, right? The way she talks is different now. And she's proud and she's happy, of what she did, and she brags about it. I'm sure she went and told all her friends, right? She did do a great job. We gave her a responsibility and she killed it, right? This is all part of the environment, right? An environment where people will bring their best self to work and they enjoy coming to work. So the ability to compete on factors other than salary. And this is the premise of my Smart System framework, where we skillfully motivate, attract rockstar talent. So Tracy, I understand it's taken years, but I do understand what being an employer of choice is. An employer of choice is someone whom workers choose to work for when presented with other employment choices. So do you have people right now that trade time for money? If you do, What would your business look like if you had not typical people anymore, but you had better people who did not trade time for money? That wasn't the only thing that was important to them. Give me a call. I would love to show you my smart system framework and how I solved becoming an employer of choice and understanding exactly what that means and how to get the roadmap, the blueprint, the framework to get there. So you can get a hold of me at 1-888-3SMART5. You can that's calling me. So you can email me at alan@getsmartsystem.com. Or you can go to getsmartsystem.com and fill out the form and give me a ring and let's talk. Have a great day. Ciao for now. And I will be coming back with a new name. I just have to figure out what it is. All right. See you later. Thanks.